What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, aka Darth Apocalypse. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a special thanks to the brother Jay Walters because he's been the one. I didn't want to take credit for this. I saw some people seemingly give credit to me for these images. These, I guess you call them channel images. He's the one that's been creating these for me. He's a fan of the channel, and he had been doing this for me. I have to admit, though, I think he outdone himself with this one. Just the way it's formatted and the way it looks, and it's I truly think he outdid himself with this one, and I just want to give him credit for that, because he didn't have to do that. He's doing it because he's just a fan of my channel, and I appreciate it. I truly do. So look, one of the things that I think bothers a lot of us about today's NBA is the entitlement of these players. Listen to some of these guys talk, and they think that they're already all-time greats. I mean, it's amazing to me how narcissistic this generation is. And when I say this generation, I'm really talking about everybody from the boomers on, which would include me, but it's especially noticeable with those under 50 and especially those under 40. Fuck whatever people did in the past. That don't matter. The only thing that matters is what I have seen. The nerve of these mother. I mean, it's just, I knew something was off when I was watching NBA Roundtable several years ago. This is well over a decade ago, I guess, 2014, 15. And they had Steve Kerr on there, and they referred to him as NBA legend Steve Kerr. I said, wait a minute, man. NBA legend Steve Kerr? Look, man. I'm not knocking Steve Kerr. He hit some big shots. He knocked down some shots that were very important in those Bulls runs. But Steve Kerr wasn't even a damn starter. I've said this before. You could switch if Tim Legler just had more health, and you switch Tim Legler with Steve Kerr, he would also have 5 championships if he got to play with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, okay? And Mount Ginobili, young Mount Ginobili, young Tony Parker. He won 5 championships too. Hell, I want to say Steve Kerr was on that team, that Portland team that blew that 15-point lead. I can't remember whether he was on that team, and I think he was. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here, man. So look, Tyrese Haliburton, we all know, suffered a devastating Achilles rupture, Game 7 of 2025 NBA Finals against the Thunder. And this isn't coming from a place of bias, because if you might recall, I was rooting for the Pacers that playoff run. I had them pegged to win a championship. And had he not got hurt, I think they would have won the title because they were winning the game. But much like that song Janet Jackson with the NBA is, what have you done for me lately, man? We've gone through an entire NBA schedule since then. And another champion. Anticipating another season in a couple of months, man. So the NBA moves on. Tyrese Haliburton was recently on the Numbers on the Board podcast, And he wondered why his debut game since the Achilles rupture wasn't on the marquee. Why it's not a nationally televised game, right?
Schedule comes out tomorrow. I know the schedule, so yeah.
This don't come out till Saturday.
Okay. So let's say the schedule's out already.
Okay.
If name any other person that you compare to my level of a basketball player, wherever you have me ranked, if they tore their Achilles and missed 16 months, do you think that game would be on national television?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably think so?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that game would be at home if not on national television?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that game would be at New Orleans?
Wait, what? Oh, your first game? Oh, that's crazy.
No, that's crazy.
That's
bro.
crazy.
That's crazy.
When I saw schedule, I was like, oh, wow. Sorry, Trey.
Let me ask you guys a question. And look, I understand he's a multimillionaire. He could, buy me 1,000 times over. I get all of that shit people are going to say, the detractors, right? But let me just ask you guys a question. If you're having a basketball conversation, do we ever have to think about LeBron's name? Like if you're trying to recall players, like the great players, do you have to think about LeBron's name? No. Do you have to think about KD's name? No. I used to have to years ago I kind of try to learn how to pronounce Kawhi's name, but everybody knows Kawhi's name, right? Basically what I'm saying is you don't have to think about it. When you think about that point guard from the Pacers, how many times have we had to go, what's his name? What is it? Tyrese Haliburton. Oh, yeah. Haliburton. Tyrese, that's it. How many times have we had to do that? Still to this day. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that to say this. You're not a superstar. You're not. You don't command an audience like that. LeBron James is a superstar. As much as we don't like him, and as much as I think the super soldier serum has, prolonged his career, and he's a cheater and all that shit, right? Stack the deck. The league stacked the deck for him with the schedule, all of that. But he meets the requirements for a superstar. Engagement, attention, his career numbers, okay, achievements. Kevin Durant is a superstar. Kawhi Leonard in his prime was a superstar. Giannis, borderline superstar at least. I mean, I still don't know if he was a household name, but the impact and all that, right? Dude, you hit some big shots in that playoff run. And you led the NBA in assists. And you're a 2-time All-Star. But, bro, you're not a superstar. You're just not. Also, as I was alluding to my earlier point, when the NBA is coming out with a schedule, the NBA is a business. It's not about, hey, let's kiss Tyrese's ass. Okay? Because it's just the right thing to do. The NBA is run by a certain demographic that cares about money, right? They care about money, and it's about money and profits. They're going to try to put the teams that were the most successful on the schedule the most. That's going to be, or teams they anticipate to be the most successful. That's going to be the Knicks. That's going to be the Sixers. That's going to be the Lakers still. I don't care what people talk about, LeBron fans, that's still a marquee team. That's going to be the Spurs and the Thunder. Those are the best teams. Denver's going to be up there too. Also, they tend to put up teams that had playoff matchups. People like, even though this generation's done a terrible job of continuing the legacy, people like to see rivalries and competition. That's why you're going to see, teams that faced off against each other in the playoffs and the marquee in opening night. I think it might be Lakers. What is it? The Lakers and Sixers don't face off to Christmas, but you're going to see teams like or games like, I think it's Cleveland versus, is it, who did the Sixers play? Is it the Knicks? Okay, that's the NBA champion versus this new dog team, right? I think it's the opening day game, right? People want to see the marquee matchups, okay? The Pacers won 19 games last year. Hell, it's not even the same team anymore from the last time you played with them. Miles Turner's gone. You know what I'm saying? Some other guys were hurt. Some other guys have left now. Mathurin, or whatever his name was, Ben Mathurin, whatever his name is. Now y'all got Ivaka Zubac. Y'all got Larry Nance Jr. You got some other players. What's the guy they got? Like, I think they got Kelly Oubre now. So, hell, y'all might be an improved team, but you got to prove it. You got to prove it. Go out there and prove that you're still a superstar, because not everybody comes back from an Achilles rupture. Everybody don't come back the same. Most people don't come back the same, to be honest with you. So go out there, have a monster game, have the Pacers, be the surprise team of the East or the NBA, and the attention will come. That's how it's going to work. Look, I remember when Dominique Wilkins tore his Achilles, I think it was January 92 against the Sixers. And he was back by opening night 1992. And they didn't have a cupcake game. They played the Knicks the opening night. They lost the game. I don't think he played all that particularly well. But his play got better as the season progressed. But I don't recall the media focusing on Dominique Wilkins, who was far more accomplished as a basketball player than you are by that point in time, by 1992. Far more accomplished. No, he hadn't been to the NBA Finals, but he was far more accomplished as a player. So the game that I think that they focused on was Bulls at Cavs, which makes sense because they faced off against each other in the conference finals. Bulls won the game, of course. And also, I'm going to tell you another thing. If I'm the Pelicans, if I'm Zion, but Zion don't give a fuck anyway. Zion's such a, fuck him, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to just go ahead and drop that point, because those guys ain't got no damn passion about themselves. Zion more probably fixated on, what he get ready to order off DoorDash right now, rather than what Tyrese said. I done gave up on Zion. But if I were Zion or one of the players there, I would be circling in right now what he just said and circling that date and being ready, mentally prepared to play on that day. Because that's disrespectful to the Pelicans franchise. That goes to show you that the people look at the Pelicans as an absolute joke. A joke. A joke. But you know what's funny? The way that people make fun of the Pelicans is the way that people used to make fun of the Bulls by 1983-84. And then Michael Jordan came along. But Michael Jordan and Zion Williamson is as far apart as Calista Flockhart and Fat Albert. So, not even the same people at all. But no, Tyrese, you're not a superstar, bro. You're just not. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.